Dr. Pradeep is a PhD in cancer biology and now working as a biotechnology scientist in the US. Another contribution that he has developed is the unified energy pattern-based concept in education, and he has given international talks on this energy pattern for the past 18 years. And Pradeep, I have also come across about your connection with Sabarimala. For how many years have you been going there, if I may ask?
For the past 35 years, I've gone almost every year.
So considering all this, I would like to ask you a question regarding the recent Sabarimala issue. Don't you think it's a discrimination on the name of religion that women are not allowed to go?
See, as a scientist, I'm trying to look at things very objectively, without any bias. So, in order to understand the question, I think we should look at from a very holistic point of view.
What do you mean by holistic?
Holistic means, like, suppose you want to look at a thing, instead of just looking at only from one angle, you look at from all possible angles. Then you know the whole thing. So that's what I meant by holistic.
And in this case, what different perspectives would you take?
Here, like in this the Sanatana Dharma tradition, we look at everything from the physical or the body level, then the emotional level and the intellectual level. There are other levels also, like the awareness and consciousness, but here I would say at least we have to look at from the three levels: the body level, the mind level and the intellectual level.
And just considering the body level, don't you think it's a discrimination on the body level that women are not allowed to go?
It appears to be a discrimination at the level of the physical body, but we have to understand that definitely there is a difference between male and the female body. From if you look at the body level, from the gross organs to the very cell, there is a difference between the X chromosome and the Y chromosome between the male and the female.
So, do you mean to say that women have a different and impure body? That's why they cannot go?
More than the physical, we actually have to look at the purity of the mind. That's what more important in Sabarimala pilgrimage.
So, is it considered that women are impure at the level of mind and men are pure?
No, I didn't mean like that. At the mind level, both man and women are equal, but we have to understand that both are impure at the same time.
So then men also should not go to Sabarimala?
Ideally, men should not go, but men can go only if they do the 41 days of vrata for purifying the mind to go to this pilgrimage.
And then how do you measure whether they have done it or not?
Yeah, before the looking at the measure, because you have been talking about purity, so I should explain what actually it means, purity means. So purity means, look at gold or let's say ghee, whatever is pure, it means it has only one thing, no second thing. So the purity in terms of the Vedic tradition means there is only one. There's only one goal in life. So if somebody keeps that one goal nature, then it is pure. So if you look at Sabarimala pilgrims, they chant Swamiye Kandal Moksham Gittum. So the one goal of going to Sabarimala is for moksha. So that single thought is purity. If somebody has in their mind that single thought, then that mind is pure.
Okay, so then now coming back to the measure, how do you measure that?
Yeah, so there is, for the physical level, the body level, the temple can distinguish between a male and a female by looking at them. But for the mind, there is a way to measure. How they measure? They look at men who are carrying the irumudi on their head. So the irumudi shows, it's a measure showing that the pilgrim has undergone 41 days of mind purification. So if a male does not have the irumudi, the temple does not allow that male to climb the 18 steps to see the Lord.
So this is totally arbitrary and man-made rule. I mean, whatever you say, but in the eyes of God, there's no discrimination. Everybody is same. But why are women prevented from worshiping God?
See, women have every right to worship. In order to understand this issue, one has to understand that there are two ways of worshipping God. One is the Agama method and another is the Tantric method.
What can you explain a little bit what is Agama and Tantric? I don't understand that.
Yeah, Agama means worshipping God without any conditions, just pure love for God. Agama actually literally means that grammar. See, what is grammar? Grammar is meant to talk a language correctly and to live life correctly without any errors. One has to follow the Agama mode of worship. Then the second way is the Tantric or the Vedic temple technology.
What does it mean, temple technology? What does have technology or science to do with temples?
From the Vedic technology perspective, temple is a place where this subtle energy is generated and is also preserved. Now, to do that, the priest and the temple guardians have to follow very strict rules and procedures. For example, which rituals to be done at what exact times and how strictly they have to keep the purity at the physical level and also at the emotional level and also the intellectual levels, meaning the rules and regulations. So, example, you know that they have to take many showers in a single day before entering the temple sanctorium. So, all these rules are based on scientific reasons. It is not just some arbitrary rules.
Okay, so now I understand that there is a technology behind in the temple technology. But what I'm not understanding is what does that have to do with women? I mean, what is wrong in the female or the women's energy that is preventing them or not allowing them to go from the perspective of this temple technology?
There is nothing wrong in women's energy, but we have to understand that the women's physiology is designed to channelize energy for creation. What does it mean, creation means? Creation means when one becomes many. Now, whereas ideally, men's physiology is designed for moksha, which means to liberate from the creative cycle of birth and death. This also means to become only one, the Parama Purusha. I will give you an analogy. Let's say there are two devices, a heating stove and a refrigerator. Now, they both use the same electric energy, but a heating stove produces heat and on the other hand, refrigerator makes things cool. Now, it is the same energy but used for two opposite tasks. In essence, a stove will never be able to cool something, at the same time refrigerator never will be able to heat something. Now, does it mean that refrigerator is better than the stove or stove better than the refrigerator? If you want to heat up something, then a stove is better for you and you will use it. And same way, if you want to cool something, then naturally the refrigerator is the preferred choice. So it is not discrimination, it is very design of it.
Yeah, but so how does this all connect to Sabarimala?
One has to understand that Sabarimala Ayyappa is for moksha only. So which means no more creation, but the liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Now, therefore, if the temple's energy of Sabarimala, if it is channelized for creation, then it will be contradictory to the very purpose of Sabarimala temple. So consequently, the energy channelization is different because of the different nature of females' physiology. Now, one also has to understand that the existence of this temple or any temple in Bharat is not by chance or arbitrary. This is our very treasure of Indian spiritual tradition, and we all have to protect and preserve it. Now,
So, in other words, you're saying that women are not allowed because they have a different energy channelization in the body, which is contradictory to the purpose of Sabarimala, and not because anything is impure inside my body.
that's very correct. There is nothing impurity because Shiva and Shakti, the Purusha and Prakriti are one and the same. Only there are different devices for channelizing the very same energy. So in fact, the Gosha or Goshana of Sabarimala Ayyappa is Tattvam Asi, which means I and you are one and the same. But you have to also understand that the women are allowed in certain age groups. Like before women reach puberty, and also after menopause they are allowed, because it is very logical. After that they are not in the mode of creation. This is the logic of Sabarimala and the very essence of generating energy for moksha. So to summarize, I can say the different physiology of the male and the female are for achieving different results. The purpose is for achieving different results. I don't see it as a discrimination. Rather, it is the purnatva, the completeness of the Sanatana Dharma, that it can cater both the needs of creation as well as liberation at the same time.
Thank you so much for this deep and holistic explanations. And actually, I'm really surprised that there's so much misunderstanding and misinterpretation going on about this issue. And now I'd like to ask you many, many more questions in our second part of this interview. Thank you so much, Pradeep.